Hello one and all, how you all doing today? So guess what? Today is my rest day, and what have I been doing? I've been resting, and there's very good reason for that. And you may ask yourself, why, Ernie, are you taking a rest day to rest? Why not just, do a few more sets, a few more reps, lift a little bit more? Surely you could see some better gains, right? And the answer to that is, why don't I also just eat pure protein as opposed to having protein with carbs and fat? And if you eat pure protein, you're not eating any carbs, you're starving yourself of carbs, which your body needs. It thinks it's starving, and it will end up holding on to all of your body fat. That's just what it does. You're gonna end up with a giant bloated belly, as what happens when you don't have any carbs in your body, because your body's holding on to everything. Likewise, if you don't rest, if you don't allow yourself to rest, you're not gonna see gains. It's on the rest days that the real gains happen. And the reason for that is because we're, every time we're working out, we're tearing little bits of muscle, and they need to be rebuilt bigger and stronger and better. And that happens on our rest days. If we just keep working out every single day, then we're tearing apart little bits of muscle every single day without ever rebuilding them. It's on the rest days that all the gains happen, because it's on the rest days that you're building it back up with the protein you're consuming, And I had a thought, do you want to look like a Spartan? Do you want to look like a Spartan? And a lot of you saying, yeah, I want to look like a Spartan. I'm saying no, because I probably already look better than a Spartan. And the reason for that is because if you're actually looking at Spartans from history and not the ones from the movies, they were soldiers. They were always on the move, always doing operations. It was burning up a lot of calories. They were at a caloric deficit. Separate from that, they couldn't get their hands on all the meat they wanted because it was just expensive. It was too hard to get to feed entire armies. So, they fed them what they could. They fed them scraps. They talk about the different way they treated athletes and soldiers in ancient Sparta, right? And the athletes got the best cuts of everything. The athletes got all the rest, because the athletes were living basically like prize racehorses. They were champions. You made money off of them. But the soldiers, they were, and this isn't my words, but it's just how it was treated. They're just soldiers, and it takes money and resources in order to keep the army going. So they needed to think strategically about how they were spending that. So they worked really hard, these Spartan soldiers, as you may know. There were, days that they'd go without sleep. They wouldn't have as much to eat as they could. They were encouraged to rob from their fellow students at the Agoge, which was their school for becoming Spartan men. And it was rough. It was lean, and as a result, they were smaller, probably about 5'8". They were leaner. They were a lot thinner. Now they might have had wiry, ropey muscle, but and they may have been strong, and surely they built up a lot of mental fortitude, the ability to have resilience to go on and on past when all hope is gone. And that was their superpower. But it wasn't having good bodies, because if they wanted to have good bodies, these Spartan soldiers, then they would have acted like the Spartan athletes. And the Spartan athletes who had the great bodies, what did they do? They ate tons of protein. They also ate tons of carbs. They rested. They took days off from their training. They would sleep as much as they needed, because that is what they need in order to maintain these athletic bodies. So it depends what you're going for. But me, I want to look a little more athletic. That's just what I'm going for right now. So I'm going to act a little more like the Spartan athletes and a little less like the Spartan soldiers, as far as my training, eating, sleeping are going. So I hope you rest. I hope you guys have a good one. I hope you all take care and know that rest is important. What you're eating is important. And same goes for your mind. Put good stuff in it, because that's what you're feeding yourself. So hope you all take care. Love you all.